What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Serpwizz report. Today we're talking about encoding. So this is the Serpwizz report. Head over to serpwizz.com to get your free, instantly actionable SEO audit in less than 37 seconds. My name's Deepak Shukla, the founder here. And yeah, so encoding, what is it? Let's have a look at the tooltip to see. So as you can see, well, ultimately it doesn't explain what encoding is, so I probably need to add that to a tooltip. But encoding really is the process of converting code, which is like to a degree kind of numerical and filled with bytes into a language that Google can read. So if we go to website encoding, what is this meta charset? Okay, here we go. What is let's go to what is encoding in SEO. The encoding type refers to the character encoding, which is a method of converting a sequence of bytes into a sequence of characters. Essentially, the types of character encodings allow different languages and characters to be transmitted across the internet. And the HTML to use the WTF character set, which covers almost all the characters and symbols in the world. So that's a character set that pretty much covers all characters and symbols in the world. God, Jesus Christ, I'm tongue twisted here. Okay, why charset is used in a website? Again, for the same reasons. How to set a website's encoding. So website encoding for SEO, and it's a question that's sometimes asked. It's just useful to know why. And let's have a look at what our competition say. You know what it is and why it's potentially useful. So encoding type refers to the character encoding, as we said. Back before it was practically tailored to the English language, but once a client receives a byte, it interprets them as a sequence of characters. Simple one-to-one correspondence to complex switching schemes in terms of the type, and ultimately why you want to set it. Basically, when you're coding without providing an encoding type, you probably have no idea that the browser is working magic behind the scenes. Without specifying an encoding type, systems try to fall back to an encoding like UTF-8. However, they'll first try to guess at the encoding before completely falling back. This ultimately makes the browser load the page slower than if the character encoding type had been provided. As for search engines, pages without an encoding type can be a similar issue, but search engines have a bit of an advantage. Browsers are forced to load the page because the user chose the URL. Search engines, on the other hand, can simply just admit a web page without character encoding type from the results. They're not going to be because they cannot be certain it will help the user with the search. This does not mean the search engine won't index web pages without an encoding type, but it is likely these pages will suffer as opposed to pages with similar pages with specified encodings. And to specify it in the HTTP header, you can modify it to specify the type, and you can put it into the heading tag as well here. So as you can see, it does have a direct bearing upon your SEO, because your browser will is different from a search engine, and a browser are forced to load it. But search engines, when they're thinking about what's the best thing to show to a user, it's not necessarily the same thing. Okay, so I really want you to consider that. We'll head over to our competition, meta charset. Is it a ranking factor for SEO? It is not, but it is useful. Okay. It is useful, in our opinion, to be honest with you, because of the reasons that I've just described. So, whilst encoding is something that happens, I'd say that unless you're not trying to fool you and working doing the information, Google won't mind which HTML, CSS, or PHP codes you're using. So look, Google doesn't mind, but it's better to set it, fundamentally. That is the advice, I think, that I'm reading from this, and it's the advice that I've been told broadly about it, and I got a bit lost in the world of, you know, showing you how and what this section actually means. So I hope that makes some sense, and you can now explain UTF-8 encoding, and it's important to your client. So if you want to set encoding WordPress, character encoding, how to fix a character encoding problem in WordPress. So there's content about it. We'll probably build our own in time, but just to let you know that there is content you can find out about it. So hope that makes sense, guys. Catch you in the next one.